Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. Look, if you're falling behind on your bills, you may be having car problems, or you just need some money. It's summertime, you want to take a vacation. I'm going to share with you some of the easiest places when you don't have a social, you have bad credit, okay? So the first one is Three Sticks Lending, okay? So with Three Sticks Lending, they are a tribal lender. Okay, and so with tribal lenders, you know how you go to the casino and you lose that money? Well, they take that money and they'll reloan it back out into the market at a lower interest rate. Okay, now many of these lenders I'm going to be talking about, just keep in mind most of the time when you have a bad credit score or a low credit score, they may charge you higher interest than your traditional credit unions or banks. All right, and I'm going to explain to you why people with an 800 credit score, they can't even get a loan or a credit card from their bank. There's one small thing that makes it so challenging for them. Now, here's the thing about it with three-stick lending. Do you report to the credit bureaus? And they'll tell you, no, we do not report to the credit bureaus. So that's one thing. Some people be relieved on it, but it says, how do I qualify for the loan? Long as you're not in a bankruptcy, at least 18 years age, long as you're not in a bankruptcy. Now, here's the thing about it. I must explain this to you. A lot of these lenders, especially like tribal lenders, they use third-party verification, meaning credit bureaus that the major credit bureaus own, like Clarity, which is owned by Experian, DataX, which is owned by Equifax, Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. So what they do, they actually will utilize their system to make sure that you're not in the middle of a bankruptcy or you have not taken out a loan with them in the past. Now, here's the thing about it that's interesting. What's the maximum? Okay, so what's the maximum amount of money I can borrow? As you can see here, their maximum is from 200 up to 3,000. The first time, now read this again, the maximum loan amount is 3,000 for first-time customers. So if you went to them the first time and you paid back the loan, now they open up their doors for you to be able to borrow a higher amount. Okay, so that's a good thing about this lender. Now, another lender I like, whether you're trying to get a credit card or a loan, you don't have to have a credit history, right? And this is with Opportun. So here's the thing about it with Opportun that people are not aware. They are a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institute, right? And since they are a CDFI, usually what happens, they work with underserved communities, okay? So make it much easier for you to get access to credit. So as you can see, with no social security number, just your ITIN, you can get up to 1,000. So if you have bad credit, this is probably one of those lenders. Now keep in mind, this is not in every state. So it's not in all 50 states. One of the things that they also offer is personal loans. And as you can see here, seeing if you pre-qualify does not affect your credit, but they offer loans up to $10,000. Now, again, like I said, the interest rates on these loans sometimes are much higher, but as you can see here, there's no higher than your basic bank or credit union, which is good. Again, like I said, they are a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institute, and you can see they offer from 300 up to 10,000. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, here's something before we talk about these other lenders. I'm going to tell you guys that many of you are not even aware that you have privy to. One, if you work in a job, a W-2 job, you can go to your HR rep and you can request to file exempt for 3 to 4 months. I have seen people do it for a whole year, but I just tell do it for 3 to 4 months so that way you'll still be able to get a tax return. But by you filing exempt, they won't take out state and federal taxes. Okay, so you're bringing home a bigger check so you're able to pay bills. Also, if you have like a retirement plan, a 401k, you may be able to borrow from that. I know different types of retirement plans, they have certain restrictions that will not allow you to borrow against it. But those are two options I would even check first before if I can get that funding, then I may not have to use this high interest rate funding unless you're just trying to rebuild your credit or something like that. Now, a credit card that you may want to seek to see if you qualify for, if you don't have a social, you're using your ITIN and you just rebuilding your credit or don't have the best credit, it's Patel. Patel offer credit cards, and as you can see here, um, for people that don't get approved for this here Patel 1, they still offer them the opportunity with the Patel 1 Rise. Okay, so this goes from 500 to 3,500, and then you have this from 300 up to 5,000. Again, they work with people that don't have a credit history. You may have bad credit history, but they are willing to give you a second chance. Now, the good thing about it is because they do offer another credit card up to $10,000. That's right, they do offer another credit card up to $10,000. And being to see if you get it approved will not affect your credit, okay? You have another lender, which I also talk about, which is Uprova. Now, as you can see with Uprova, their loans go from 300 up to 5,000. Can a personal loan help me improve my credit? In terms of like when you take the loan, then they'll report payments, but this will not stop you from getting the loan, okay? So you having bad credit, one of the things about it that most people again overlook, you have to have a active checking account. That's what they're looking for. Active checking account, active phone number, active email. So make sure that you have those things. Now, again, keep in mind that some of these like tribal lenders, they're not in all 50 states as well. So that's also, here's another lender, and this is Lendeska. Okay, so Lendeska is a platform, right? And it's for freelancers and stuff like that. And as you can see, they go up to $20,000 for up to 18 months. So they don't have a long-term lending, but for 18 months, 20,000, hey, if you have a truck that's broke down and you need to replace the motor so you can get back on the road or something like that, or a car broke down or something, or you may have another emergency that you need to help out family members or something like that, hey, 18 months is a good time period. Then you can also get the funds within 24 hours, and they have interest rates as low as 20%. Okay? Again, it has nothing to do with the personal credit. All right? So they have some loans up to $5,000, 1099 self-employed individual small business owners. All right? Now, what are your qualifications? Here you go. $25,000 annually is the minimum. So that's basically about $1,250 a month, okay? $1,250 a month in order for you to qualify. 550 credit score, and they're not pulling the credit score. They may check like LexisNexis to see if you're in a bankruptcy or something like that, but they're not checking the credit score. Then you have to be in business for at least 3 months. That's all, 90 days, and they're willing to work with you, all right? So just keep that in mind. Another lender out in the market is Rise Credit, and as you can see, they go from 500 up to 5,000. And again, yes, they do report to the credit bureaus. They will check the third-party credit bureau, so you won't get a hard inquiry. So they're going to check Clarity, and they're going to check Telecheck, okay? To see if you're in a bankruptcy, if you had an account in the past with one of their subsidiaries. So they're going to check those to make sure that you're not trying to take advantage of them, right? There's another lender out here, which is called Yendo, okay? And the reason that this here is such a great idea, you may have a car with equity in it, a paid off car, it has equity in it, and you have bad credit. they will loan you up to $10,000. Again, you can have bad credit, but you have a paid off car with title, they will loan you up to $10,000. Now, another thing about it, say that you are still making payments on the car, but the car has equity in it. You still can borrow up to $10,000, even with bad credit. It has nothing to do with the credit. They're actually giving you a title loan. All right, it's a line of credit to be exact. Now, here's another lender, which is Fundo. Okay, and so with Fundo, again, these loans, people, just keep in mind the interest rates is going to be high. If you have challenging credit, thin credit file, just keep in mind the interest rates is going to be high. There's no way of getting around it. So they offer merchant cash advances up to $10,000, right? So here's my thing. If you have a car with equity in it, you can do two types of loans. You can do a loan with Yendo, and you can do a loan with merchant cash advance if you're in the gig economy. So that can probably help you raise a $20,000 right there. Or looking at your tribal lenders, you may have to take out 2 or 3 of the tribal loans to get you a $10,000, $15,000 funding. But hey, if you need the money and you know that it's going to go for something that you really need to do, why not? All right. I'm not encouraging you to get into any debt because I gave you a strategy for that. But hey, things happen. Opportunities come up. Life happens and we need help. Freelancers, small business owners, contractors, sellers, and franchise. So even if you're MLM, you can actually get a loan. If you're MLM, you actually can get a loan. So don't think that, hey, I'm just an MLM. If you have revenue coming in, and so their minimum revenue is about $1,500, okay? And then you have to make sure you have an active checking account. Now, again, I always tell people you're leaving money on the table when you do not structure your business properly and have an active bank account as well as payroll, because you're missing the opportunity to raise more capital much easier, even if you have stated income. Okay, so that's the reason I continue to tell you guys, hey, do it the right way. You'll never worry about money. All right, then, like I said, $1,500. You have to be in business at least 90 days. All right. Another lender that's if you want to avoid using your social, it's Sam's Club. Sam's Club Business Credit Card. It's EIN only. I would tell you, you have to go inside and apply for this credit card. Make sure you just put your social security number. Let them know that you want. Make sure you do not put your social security number. You just want to put your EIN or your TIN on the application. Now, one of the things I would definitely tell you is that I would make sure I have at least 4 to 5 trade lines reporting on my business credit file before I go in and try to apply for this. The reason is you'll have a higher chance of approval. This is through Synchrony. More likely, you're going to have your Experian pool, Experian business credit file pool, okay? And with your EIN only, right? But you definitely should be able to get up to $20,000 off of this as well. Now, for those of you that may have questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.